Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hey, my name is Keith Jones. As you can see on the flyer, well, you know what? Before I go too far, I want to make sure one, that you can see me, and two, that you can hear me because this is a live meeting. So if you don't mind putting in the chat where you're from, I'm going to look at the chat and see, make sure that you can hear me. And that's the way you get to participate. One, we love to know where people are coming from. And two, we would just allow you to ask questions in the chat. So everybody's going to stay muted because we want to make sure that we hear the information from our investors. They're really busy, and we are really grateful that they're taking the time out to actually share some information with us because they're currently in action right now. And so, as you can see, the flyer, May 24th. So I normally are here with the host who actually put this all together, Scott Buckles. He's occupied right now, but we wish the best for him and his family. And we are just so grateful that he allowed for this to put together. I mean, he had vision. I think this is like year seven that he's going into doing this. So this was before COVID. He had the vision to be able to put together to say, you know what, we have people doing real estate investment all across the United States. What if we was to have a place where people can understand about real estate investing, ask questions, and actually kind of glean and learn from others. So if this is your first time here, I'm glad you're here. If you've been here before and you elevating your game, hey, congratulations. But before we get started, tell the person who invited you to this meeting right now, tell them thank you. Just go ahead and just tell them thank you. Because you're going to learn some things today that's going to be really interesting, or it's going to pique some interest on some things that you may want to do. So you want to go ahead and tell the person who invited you, thank you now. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the chat, and we got people coming from Atlanta, Georgia. We got Chicago showing up. We got Maryland. We got Illinois. We got, oh, Maryland again. Waldorf, welcome. Canada is showing up today. So we got inside the United States and outside the United States. Hey, we got Seattle, Washington, Raleigh, North Carolina. Hey, I got that Hurricanes. They're doing pretty good in hockey right now. Hey, so if you don't mind putting in the chat, that would be really great. So we love to know where people are coming from, and you get to ask questions, and I get a chance to look at there. So before we go any further, let me go ahead and knock down. You can see that today's property tour is a fix and hold, a power couple. You're gonna love this couple. I am so grateful that they was able to share with us what they're going to share with us today. And so, just out of curiosity, as y'all starting to put in where you're coming from, looking, so we got folks coming from Orlando, Florida. Hey, Georgia showing up today. Out of curiosity, is this your first time coming to this meeting? Is this your first time? If the answer is yes, put a yes in the chat. I'm just curious, is this is your first time um, coming with us? All right, Rebecca. Hey, congratulations. Kara, Jerome, Houston. Hey, I'm so glad that you're here. So the way we work this as we actually going through our meeting today, if you have a question, just put it in the chat. And this is going to be really awesome. Now, we try to keep it within an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and stop talking because I really want to get our feature investor out. So, matter of fact, let me go ahead and have Dameon and Jennifer, if you don't mind coming out, so that way we can understand, see you, and get some things going here. So, I'm going to stop a couple of videos here so that way we can. Oh, there goes Dameon.
Good
And
morning.
there
Good
goes Jennifer.
morning.
So I want to make sure, I want to make sure, yep, I can see both of y'all and I can hear y'all. And I want to say, first of all, thank you, thank you for taking time out of y'all busy day because right now I'm probably thinking of y'all in two different locations. That's how busy y'all are.
We we are.
So hey, you know
Uh,
what? I know y'all, but there's people here today that they don't know who y'all are. And so, as you know, we'd love to hear your story about real estate investing, why you started doing real estate investing, and anything else you want to share, because there's some people who are really thinking about it. And I just want to get out of your way. I want to let y'all go ahead and do some talking because I'm so excited on what y'all doing. Y'all a power couple, and I really appreciate that. So
I
if you
see
don't
my
mind
wife
coming on out.
muted herself, so she must be trying to tell me to go first. Usually she's sitting beside me to give me the look. Um, well, first I want to start off by giving thanks and praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, none of this will be possible for any of us. Um, But my wife and I, we started this journey in 2018. Both my wife and I still currently work. I'm a firefighter for Fairfax County, and she is a IT project manager. Um, she and I both had a desire, again, like I said, back in 2018 to get into real estate. We both were watching HGTV as everybody does, and then like, man, you know what? I think we could do that. And by the grace of God, I had a neighbor who told me about tax liens, and I decided that I wanted to go and try my hand in doing some tax liens. And while I was there, I met that handsome gentleman that is the host, Keith Jones. And by the grace of God, we connected. And he informed us about this group. And my wife and I, we did some research, and we joined after doing our homework and finding and realizing that there's no way around getting the help that you need without joining yourself to a wonderful community. And we've been very blessed and fortunate. Like I said, both my wife and I still currently work. We have three kids. I don't know if we can call them kids anymore, but they're young adults, 18, 16, and 14. And yeah, so we just been plugging away on this journey of learning and doing what we've been learning in this group.
Awesome. I know you want to pass the baton over to you, Jennifer.
Boop.
Good morning, everyone. And yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We are in two different locations. I'm actually in Charlotte, North Carolina today. So I am not sitting next to my handsome husband, joining him. And so he'll more than likely be showcasing this property uh, um, himself doing more so of the talking. But I concur, with what Dameon said. We're out here still kind of, hustling, working, trying to make this our full-time job that is real estate investing. And so it's been a journey. Even with this property that we're going to talk about today, it's been a journey, definitely some things that we have learned, some new things that we have learned with this particular property. So we're just excited to be able to share and talk about it. And I'll just turn it back over to Dameon.
Okay. Well, what time is it? I don't want to belabor the
Yeah.
time. Well,
So I'm about to say if you can go ahead and like showcase your
is my screen already still sharing? Okay.
and while you're doing that, just to remind everybody who just came on board, if you have any questions or anything as they get to show their property, um, go ahead and put it in the chat because we normally keep this within the hour. Sometimes we make a little bit shorter than an hour, just depends on the questions. Um, but this is really awesome. So before we even get started, as you start to show your picture, thank you. When did y'all really get started in real estate investing, Damien?
You said when or where?
When? Yes.
2018, um, was about September 2018. We got started, and the first thing we did was like I said, we mentioned, um, we bought a couple of liens from the tax lien, and that was the beginning of our journey. Um, and yeah, we just been learning and growing and doing different strategies and things that we've been learning inside of this group. Uh, and this today is a fix and hold.
Okay. And so what some of the people that like to always like to know is you evidently you learned how to do real estate investing. I know you're going to talk about that, but and I know some people want to know the numbers right up front, which we're going to wait towards the end. But how did you find this property?
This particular property was through a wholesaler. Um, I know we've all seen the commercial, express home buyers. We buy your house in 7 days. But a lot of people don't know they wholesalers. So we found this through a group, a wholesaler that we use, and they actually kind of use their platform to have different people kind of market on their platform and invest. I mean, and Express Home Buyers was one of the what? What in the world? Somebody's knocking at my door. I am so sorry, Jennifer. If you can talk about it a little bit while I go see who's knocking at my door. Sorry.
Well, like we said, this is live. So hopefully, Jennifer, you can come on out and share a little insight on this property right here.
No, sir. I'm good. Yes, you too. I take that call from you for another day.
So can you explain what is a fix and hold? Good question. So a fix and hold is where they actually, so some people think like a fix and flip. So this is where they actually find a property, they fix it up, and then they hold on to it to actually rent it out. And so it's not a fix and flip because mostly a fix and flip, they flip it. In other words, they're reselling that property. Um, where this one, they're going to hold on to it and then they rent it out. So that's a good question, Rebecca, when it comes to, what is a fix and hold?
I am so sorry, everyone. Somebody unexpectedly knocked at my door. And
Well, like we said, this is live, right? And we appreciate that, because, everybody said that they're busy, they're busy, they're busy, right? And they don't have time, but there's a way that y'all figure out how to fit real estate investing into your lifestyle. And at some point, what Jennifer was saying, at some point that will become your full time. So you're in this
absolutely.
transition. And so that's one of the things I like about this, this community and how we learn and how we share is because it's for everybody who really wants to do something.
Absolutely. Um, yeah, this property is in Northeast DC. We found it, like I said, we found it through Express Home Buyers. Um, and yeah, well, this is actually our second one through Express Home Buyers. We found this after we found and completed or almost completed the other one we were looking, and we found this one. And yeah, if you're ready for me to start showing some of the before shots, I can give you some explanation of what what the vision was when we seen it.
Yeah.
Um,
You're correct with that. Another one came in real quick is uh, we have a question from I think it's Jerome. He was talking about as it has known as buy and hold. So the difference of buy and hold is sometimes when you buy a property and you hold on to it, you may not have to fix it up. But this one is you're going to see as they went through, they actually fixing this property and then holding on to
or
it.
maybe like if you buy it, it might be little small cosmetic things that you might do just to get it to rent it. But you'll see that we've done some major stuff to this property, and we're still in a process. It's not complete yet, but just wanted to show you just the process and kind of give you some of the highs and lows.
Yeah. So if you don't, yeah, go ahead, Damon.
This was closing day. We closed on the property. It's an enclosed front porch with a nice green carpeted porch that is still there, actually. We haven't got rid of it yet. So our plan is to see the ceiling. It's decent. The plan is to put a nice ceiling fan out there on the porch and then take away all of the enclosure and put some nice railing around it. Um, you'll see that we took down all the bars from all of the windows. If anybody's looking for a good solid door, we got a good door we can give you. So just message me and I'll freely give it to you. Nice solid door. So this is the foyer walking in. Um, the property owner was an older guy. He said he was tired of walking up and down them steps. He had arthritis in his knees. So he was just looking to get rid of the property. So we were happy to oblige. See the old parquet floor. I think that was actually a vinyl flooring over top of it, vinyl parquet. This was the living room, had some nice old furniture. We, of course, with buying from a wholesaler or being an investor, you want to let the homeowner that you're purchasing the property from, that they can take whatever they want to take and leave whatever they want to leave. So they left a lot of stuff, say less. We had uh, we had a few dump loads of stuff that we had to get rid of.
So are you saying they left like the furniture and everything, just for clarity?
Not all of the furniture, but most of the furniture.
Now, were you expecting that, or were you expecting
Yeah,
it to be the
yeah.
house to be empty?
No, it's like I just mentioned, we tell the homeowner that they can take what they want to take and leave what they want to leave. When you're buying a property at a discount where it's going to be beneficial for you, you want to make it beneficial for them too. So you want to create a win-win situation. You don't want nobody who have to worry about, oh, I need to clear out this whole house. And so you want to make it as easy as possible for them. So that's what we did. I actually had some good pieces, some good furniture. This couch right here. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, this couch right here, if you look it up, it's like worth like 4,000 bucks. Old school.
Oh, wow.
This right here was an old record player. They left that too. A lot of the stuff they took, but a lot of stuff I think they took this dining room table. They took this chest. Well, this is the dining room. Actually, let me see if I can go back. So right here, when you come in to the left of the screen, this is where we're walking into to your foyer. We opening up all of this, and you'll see once in the other photos that we're opening all of this up. So all of this is going to be an open concept. Of course, we're taking out all of the old carpet. This is your dining room. It's going to be open. And then here's your kitchen. All of these walls you'll see will be open. And you'll see this back wall here with this door. We opened that up and put a nice French door there, open into the deck.
Because this is DC, do you know like the approximate age of this?
This house is 19, I want to say 32 or 29, one of the two. It's a pretty old house.
Okay. A question
Actually,
came in. A question came in. Yeah, yeah. Well, I was looking at I guess that's a radio on the right hand side of there.
it's an intercom system inside of the house.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So the question came in and says, are you reselling the items that were left behind? Like I guess how you are handling the
Uh, I mean, attempting to some of the stuff, you just unless you know where to sell it, you can be holding on it forever. But yeah, we're attempting to sell some of the stuff, um, or give it away, either one.
and the questions already started to come in like, are you fixing this yourself or do you have contractors?
We have contractors, and actually, you'll see a few of them inside of the picture. A couple of the pictures once I show you. I'm just trying to get the age of the property.
And then some people it says
1935.
1935.
Yep.
Okay.
So again, this is your kitchen. Of course, all of this whole house was pretty much completely gutted. This is your basement. They had the good old panel walls, and right behind here is where your electric panel is. That had to be upgraded as well. This is your second floor. This was the old considered to be no, this wasn't. This was your old primary master had that had half bath attached to it. This is just the one full bath that was in the property. And this is one of the smallest room. This is the second room. So it was originally a three-bedroom, one full bath and two half baths, and we are turning it to a um, five-bedroom, three and a half baths.
Now, out of curiosity, the control panel, was that a knob and tube? Do you recall if it was a knob and tube?
No, it was not. It was the electric was upgraded um, before, uh, but we still had to end up doing it. I think it was probably like 100 amp that was upgraded to around in the 80s or something, 90s or something like that. But yeah, we needed with the amount of things and lightings and stuff that we were putting in, and we this had a old radiator system, as you can see, this little pink cover right here.
Mhm.
They were hiding the radiator, so we changed out the HVAC. And so with us putting that, amount of wattage inside of the house, we needed to upgrade the panel as well.
And some questions are coming in, like, how did you deal with asbestos, lead paint? I mean, and then I
Mm.
guess you hired a company to
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, we got a crew, and that's the thing about real estate investing. You want to build your team of professional people that, to do the stuff that you don't know how to do. You don't know what you don't know. And that's the reason why it's so important to get educated, um, and plug yourself into someone who is, a mentor, someone who's going to help you along the way. And with this group, we got a one-stop shop. We're getting educated. We got people that we can bounce the deals off and ideas off. Because nothing is guaranteed, but when you're more educated and then you have the people with the knowledge and experience around you, that will willingly help you be successful, then it makes the process, it takes down your risk. So second floor, and then this is a start to some of the renovation. As you can see, this is basically me coming in that front door and you seeing how we open everything up. It was original hardwood floors under the carpet, the green carpet. But it's mismatch and some areas was kind of messed up. So we just decided that we're going to do all new flooring throughout the entire house to have it a nice matching one cohesive flooring. We did some vaulted tray ceilings. You see all of the lights and stuff that were added. So with that, we had to upgrade the panel. We took out all of the heavy, heavy, heavy radiators. I mean, man, them things, I think it was, let me see, I had between 11 and 15 of them that I took to the scrap yard. Probably weighed about, I want to say, 2,000, uh, 2,500 pounds or so.
Oh,
I
that's
got about,
easy. You be bench
huh?
pressing though. You be bench pressing 3,000. So that was light work for you. That was light work for you.
Man, I got about $75 for it, but
Well, wait, hey, there you go.
hey, there's $75 I didn't have to spend, right?
Exactly. And then, it was interesting. Some people asking, like, since the age and the code, you went through the permit process, right? You went through, and that part took some time. Is that fair to say?
Good morning, son. Yes, I did. And one thing a lot of people are scared of the permit process. I being myself one of the people who were scared of the process, but it's a process that you don't want to circumvent. Um, uh, unfortunately, and fortunately, we had a hard knocks life on this project, and we started out doing some stuff without it, and got a rude awakening. And it cost us way more than if we would have just got the permits in the first place. I would just say that. So I'm gonna say, whenever you're trying to do something like this, make sure that you are sticking to the codes and rules and regulations so it don't cost you. This was an expensive way to learn without doing the permits at first. It costs you time, it costs you money and penalties, and it slows down your process. But we are good to go now, and then we're rocking and rolling. By the grace of God, got all of our permits, and it's uh, it's not as scary as you think it is. Actually should embrace it because you learn a lot. You learn through the process. You learn what's code and what you can do and what you can't do. And it's good to learn. It's good to just go through this process because what it is also a stepping stone in your real estate investing career. Because now we're doing, properties that already exist, just doing remodels. But our goal also is to do new builds. And you can never go around doing a new build without permits. So learning this process as soon as possible and leaning in, it was a great experience.
Awesome. And people are saying that they like the ceilings. Just from this view right here, especially you popping in those recessed lighting. So we definitely excited what it's going to look like when you finish. And somebody was asking a question about how long did it take, for the electricity. I think you're still going through that process, and you're going to talk about your numbers towards the end. But you kind of was expecting that there would have to be something changed, right? Because of just the age of the house and have done multiple projects before.
Yes. Yep, absolutely. This this picture right here is where the kitchen is going to go. Whereas before, you see where the guy with the red shirt is standing, that's where the kitchen was before. And then we put a half bath. So over in that far left corner, behind that wall is the new ductwork and stuff for the HVAC system. The refrigerators are going to go behind that wall, and as you can see, we opened it up. And those are the French doors that's leading out to the deck. Right there on the floor is where we're going to put a nice island, and we're going to keep the window but make it smaller. And the sink is going to go right there so you can look out into the backyard. This is the upstairs bathroom, that hall bathroom. As you can see, fully gutted. Bless you. Fully gutted. Um, We're waiting for the inspector to come to inspect the plumbing. You have to leave it's a rough inspection. You have to leave everything open till they come in and test the plumbing, test your electrical, um, look and make sure everything is done correctly before you can close it up. So we're waiting for that process to get done.
So,
Um, this
so one of the questions came in is about the square footage, and if we missed that, sorry about that one. But somebody was just curious about like the square footage of this house. If
the
you,
total square footage.
I think you froze. Oh, that was me. I froze. I'm sorry. What was that square footage again?
2068.
Okay, awesome. Now, normally, you like to add to what's there. So, can you remind us how many bedrooms, how many baths on this one?
It was originally a three-bedroom, one full bath, and two half baths. We're turning it into a five-bedroom, three and a half bath.
Okay. That's awesome.
And the first, the picture here too, and why is this not letting me go back? Sorry, a little technical. So this is the hall bath. This was the one full bath that was in the house. And this is to the left is well, both of these pictures are the full bath for the master that was a half bathroom. This is the back deck. And as you can see, the French doors from the outside, we've even added this glass over just to give it some more natural lighting on the inside. So we got plenty of natural light, and then also we have the recessed lights throughout as well. I believe this might be the last picture. I'm gonna move forward.
Okay, so a couple more questions came in was like the designing. Like, who did you have a professional, or how did you come up with like you saw what you saw, but then
Mhm.
in your mind y'all had something else? How did you work that piece?
So by us doing this and learning, like we got a lot of different classes that we learn from in our group, fix and flip classes, and they give you a lot of different ideas. And by doing this, you kind of get a visual. The Lord has blessed me to be able to look at some stuff and to visualize how we can maximize the space and where we need to put it. So it's a combination of being blessed with the vision by the Lord and then also the education and things that we learn in our group that, and then the experience of doing it um, since 2018. So no, we didn't hire anybody. This is myself and my wife just visualizing.
And plus, y'all been doing this for a while, right? And so you kind of built your way into this, right? It's not like y'all started off like this. Y'all kind of built your way and you built your confidence by learning. And from learning and communicating with people within the community, um, that helped along with the process, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm looking at some other now, just out of curiosity, who's the designer? Is it you or Jennifer?
Oh, sorry. Here's another picture. Uh,
Like
And
who actually does the designing? So I know you understand about the spaces because we saw the draw, but when it comes to like, because somebody was asking about, are you gonna have neutral colors? Like who picks out the colors and stuff like that?
Jennifer mainly does. I kind of put a little input here and there, but she is the finisher, the with the, tiling and we kind of we'll mutually agree on, some different things, but she has the eye, the vision of the color palettes and things like that. That's her neck of the woods. I'm more of the construction and the layout and the floor plan and stuff like that. And she comes in a, perfect team.
Well, it's definitely showing because this is not your first rodeo doing this, and I think y'all have a heart for DC. Is there a particular reason why y'all have like a heart for
Both born and raised in DC, man. Um, she was from uptown, not too far from this area. Our other property that we did in DC is right down the street from where she grew up. This one's probably about 12 minutes or so. Um, but and I'm from Southeast DC. So yeah, we both love born and raised in DC.
Awesome. Now, somebody asked a question about funding. So, is this your last slide, or do you have any more pictures after this?
I believe this is the last one.
Okay. Because
Last
you
one.
actually in action, right? Because you actually in action on this one. So, a question may ask is, um, when do you think you'll be complete with the project?
Lord willing in a month.
Okay, within a month. And
Yeah.
so some people say, well, how long has it been y'all been doing this in the process for this property right here?
Um, we bought the property in November. November. And like I said, we started out, we had a delay because we didn't initially get the permits, and then the city came out and said, no, no, no. Not in my house. So that delayed us when we should have, if we would have just in the beginning just did it, um, we would have been ahead of the curve, uh, and have had less money out of, pocket. So, like I said, lesson learned for sure, expensive lesson, but we learned it. We definitely learned. We won't do it again.
Well, somebody said, how much time or money did you lose? So you didn't really lose money, right? Because of the way y'all do your strategy, but it kind of held you back a little bit, right?
So when I say we lost money or cost us money, everything we put oops factor, we put everything in the beginning, um, before we even do a deal. Learning how to run your numbers properly would help you tremendously. And you'll see once we go over the numbers that we didn't lose, but we're paying more money than we would have had to pay had we did it correctly and went through this process, without trying to circumvent the process that is, you know, that we're supposed to do.
So that's one of those golden nuggets that a lot of people may not understand is one, y'all selected this area, right? So you kind of like your backyard, your backyard, but at the same time, you understand market analysis. So you knew the value of, one, solving somebody's problem. So you helped solve somebody who had the property, who wanted to get it out of that property, and you was able to help them. So that right there, make sure people understand as real, what is real estate investing, right? And so our mindset, we look at helping people, right? Somebody had a property, they wanted to move on with their life to do something else, and y'all was able to come in and to help them, right? Even though it was through a wholesaler, but you built your network around helping, real estate investors who wholesale it, right? Who's able to reach out and be able to create a win-win, not only for the homeowner, right, but also the wholesaler. And I think your wholesaler understands your model, who will be able to present things to y'all. Is that kind of fair to say? Y'all kind of built that way.
Oh, this one, I mean, even with the wholesaler, like everything is, you have to be educated. You cannot circumvent getting educated and trying to be successful as a real estate investor. You are going to learn one way or the other. Just like even with us, we're still learning. Even though we've been in the, game for a little bit, for a few years, you can see we still, can pay the price if we don't do things right. So you can't get around being educated. So even I say that to say, even with wholesalers, it's like trust but verify. They're going to present a deal. They're going to present something as to what they say a deal is. But if you don't know how to run numbers, you don't know how to run comps, you don't know how to estimate rehabs. If you don't know these things or know someone that know them that you can bounce these ideas off of, and you just take their numbers as face value, you can lose your shirt, because there's always a lot of things, even if their numbers are correct, there's things that's going to come up. And if you don't properly add these things in, if you don't know these things, then you could have a bitter taste about real estate investing. Like I've talked to a lot of people, they're like, I ain't doing it ever again. I'm like, all right, good. That's less people for less competition for me. Um, but when you know what you're doing, good real estate investors don't find deals, they create them. So when you learn how to create a deal, and learn how to negotiate, which one of the classes that we have is talks about negotiating and talking to people and raising private capital. Like when you learn all of these things, then you can go and you can see that there's a lot of deals to be made, and there's nothing to be afraid of. There's a lot of deals that you can create, and there's a lot of people that you can help out of bad situations where you can create these win-win situations.
That's awesome. And because I'm looking at, have a determined type have you determined the type of renters that you wanted to attract for your property? So I know that that's one of the things you're gonna talk about. But one of the things I just want to pull just a little bit to the left of that, what I'm hearing is you're learning and you doing, you implementing, you learn how to implement. But at the same time, I think I heard one of the nuggets that was in there, I want to make sure we bring it out is as you had all your numbers up front. So when you looked at it from the wholesaler, you ran your numbers, you took their numbers, but you verified it with the way you understand so that way you can create that win because as a person who's taken on the project, your risk is a little bit higher, but you know how to handle it. So you make your money when you buy the property versus when you sell it or whatever the case may be. Is that how
Absolutely.
you?
Absolutely. And you want to have, not only do you want to make your money when you buy, but you also want to have multiple different strategies with with this process. But being a real estate investor, you got to be a transactional engineer. You got to have like be like a Batman, have a utility belt of different ways to be able to be in and out of a deal. Because had we just had one particular strategy, um, with another, not this property, but with another property, um, the house would have just been sitting on the market. So we had a property that we was trying to sell, and it just wasn't selling. It looks good. It's in a good area, but just wasn't selling. But because we don't just do one strategy, we have multiple different strategies. We're able to cash flow on it, keep it as a rental property and cash flow. But if you don't have that education, then you could be stuck in a property and it's just bleeding. You're just taking your money until you sell it or dropping the price until you just basically make nothing or you lose. You have to even take a loss on it just to get it off your hands. So you got to be educated to have multiple different strategies in order for you to be successful. And that's the thing about this group, man. It's awesome. Is they teach you the whole gambit. They teach you not only how to acquire deals at a discount, but how to pivot when you need to, um, how to raise private capital. It's so many different things in real estate investing, and not and even when you're making the money, how to keep Uncle Sam legally out of your pocket, but by paying less money. So when we get the Jeff Bezos and the Donald Trumps saying that they don't pay taxes, um, they legally don't because the tax code is set up as a business owner to be able to maneuver get around paying little to no taxes at all legally. But if you don't know those things, you just look at them as bad because you don't know it, but you have the opportunity to learn. And this group is telling us and teaching us how to do those very exact things that those big people know how to do. So,
Yeah, and I like that is because of the fact that one, y'all providing value, right? You providing value not only because the house was built a long time ago, but now y'all an investors are going in refurbishing that property, right? So the city, the DC likes it, right? For them for the taxes, but at the same time, you providing value for a new person to be able to move into that place, to be able to provide value. So as real estate investors, there are a lot of incentives for business owners, right? And so that's what a lot of people that, they look at it one way, they don't really understand. And that's where the education comes in, the learning and being around folks because, laws change. So how are you going to get an update if you only look at a book? The book that never updates, it just stays the same. But
correct.
you want to be around people who are learning and implementing, and that's how you continue to grow and move forward. So that's really awesome. So if you want to transition, you want to go ahead and like look at numbers and talk about numbers because I know
Yeah,
people.
that's just somebody had a question about what was my strategy or who's my potential tenants or something like that. Is answer that and
Yeah,
kind of
go
get.
ahead.
Um, so my wife and I, we partner up with the city and we do housing through it's called Section 8. I think they call it something else now, but old name for it is Section 8. So all of our properties that we own, we do Section 8. And we can get guaranteed money. Um, from them, uh, and not to have to worry about people who they lose their job or, people just don't want to pay. The government is going to pay for the most part, I mean, anything can happen. But when they stop paying, I don't think anybody is paying. So we like that sense of having that kind of like that guaranteed money.
Yeah, and at the same time, you are participating in what they call some people say affordable. I think they started to change the name, but
Yeah,
attainable housing, right? Because somebody needs a place to stay, and as the investor, you take on that risk to partner with the government on that, and the government thanks you, and the people thank you. So it's you providing value,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
which I like about that. And then, did y'all actually work with? I know you're gonna talk numbers, but did y'all hard money lender? I mean, did you do a mixture?
Uh, we we did private money and hard money um, for this deal. Like I said, the wholesaler, and again, we negotiate even with the wholesaler. They have a price, we have a price. So I'm gonna click on the next screen and you'll see the numbers. Oh, actually, oh, sorry, there's more. I'm sorry. So this is some work in the
Bit
basement.
like the commercial, and there's more.
They're installing the heavy up. See, taking out the drywall, the plumbing over here. And these are the two bedrooms that were added in the basement. This is the bathroom, the full bathroom that we're adding in the basement. And here are your numbers. So the wholesaler originally, when we saw it, they wanted 525. What price do you see that we paid for it?
Yeah, yeah, 485.
Yeah. So we negotiated even with the wholesaler. The rental cost is $183,000. No small penny. Private money costs is 3,600. The ARV is 851. Our holding costs, once we're done, will be 40,000. And renting it out through Section 8, we can get up to $7,300 for a 5 bedroom. Now you see why I do Section 8, right? And then the potential cash flow is about $2,300, giving us an equity of a $231,000 that we can tap into.
Uh, yeah, can you order another one for me? I was so a lot of people look at these numbers, right? And they're like, "Oh my gosh," like, that's a lot, right? And at the beginning, for some folks, that could be, right? And but y'all learn through the process, like you talked about negotiations, you talked about, market analysis. When you went into this property because you always already equipped, through learning and implementing that you've done in the past to be able to uh, know that when you saw this property, what you was going to do. And so you had multiple exit strategies, but you still have your one thing that like you like to do, but you have multiple strategies to be able to get out. Because that was one of the questions that Houston was asking, like, were you focus on one strategy before you got into this deal?
Was I focused on one strategy? My goal is to hold the property. That's where you build your long-term wealth. Um, and you pay your less amount of taxes. So this holding on to this property is a tax strategy. This is how you're able to pay less in taxes by having rental properties that you can write off and create a loss for your business. Even though you're cash flowing and you're earning money, you can create a loss because of all of the different tax strategies and things that you can write off when you own rental properties. So our goal is to keep them, but we can pivot at any time.
Yeah, and then one of the questions came in. It's like, how difficult is to work with the city to help provide houses. And so I I understand your question, but I would drop the second word is difficult, because a lot of times, even myself, you think that it's difficult. It's really a learning. You have to learn, you have to understand and the value. So I don't really call it difficult. You just have to understand their process and to be able to kind of move forward. Is that fair to say there, Damon?
I would say yes. I can see where someone can say it's difficult, just because how drawn out or not kind of straightforward. Could be or should be that you would think it should be. But just like you mentioned, it's just learning their process. And once you learn it, now you know the time that you have to go through and what hoops you may have to jump through. So it is just learning. And once you learn it, now you know it, and it's like, okay, well, I know I'm gonna have to do this, and this, and it's not no longer seems difficult. It's just okay. These are the steps that I have to take, and these are the things that I have to do to satisfy them in order for me to get the person into my property.
Yeah. And and so one of the things, and I think that was your last slide. You can stop sharing there. So one of the things that I like that question. I'm glad how you look at it and how I look at it, because one of the things that I learned through the education community is the mindset. And that's why I was kind of looking at it from the standpoint, if I think that it's automatically going to be hard, then it's always going to be hard unless I change the way I look at it. And so one of the first things I had to do was get out of my own way and say, I don't know this stuff. And so I wanted to learn. And then it was my expectations from the time that I started learning to the time I started doing stuff. I had to manage that expectation. So that's why I'm saying, about the mindset and then
Absolutely.
being around people to help you and motivate you. Like, thank you for doing this property tour because this is like motivational that says, in 2025 you actually doing this. So some people may have pause and says, the interest rate is this and there's always something deflecting, or I'm not going to do anything right now because it's Memorial Day weekend, or or there's always something that
Oh
keeps
yeah.
them from moving forward. And again, I want to thank both of y'all for taking time out of y'all day to just um, share with people that you entwine it as part of your life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about this community, man. Like my wife and that, we're not getting paid for this. Um, we have a lot of people who volunteer to just help people to be successful. So my goal and our goal and everyone goal who's a part of this community and for the people who invited people on is to help you do what you say you want to do. If you're here, it's because you have interest in learning how to be a real estate investor. And if that is your interest, you have a community that's here to support you. And this is what we do for each other. We take the time out to see that it's ordinary people. We don't have no special powers or anything like that. That we're all come together, we learn, we all help each other to be successful. And if it's your goal to be successful, in real estate investing, then partner up with us, join us, and let's lock hands. And because it's enough out here for everybody, we can't buy enough all of the houses ourselves. We can't help as many people with real estate. The population is steady growing. People with real estate is always going to be a place. People always need a place to stay. So real estate is always going to be in existence. So won't you just take this opportunity to learn what to do, even for your own personal property. We have investors who, because they learned how to negotiate and buy properties at a discount, that they did that for their own house, or they lived in houses that they didn't pay any money for. So there's so many different things to learn in real estate. And if you take full advantage of it, you can do this for yourself. You could live in a house and have somebody paying you. Um, it's so many different strategies, so many different things, and this community is one way to be able to learn. There's a lot of different ways to learn. The School of Hard Knocks, you can go on YouTube University, but you're not going to get the answers that you're searching for and that you would need, and you're often going to fall into um, a bunch of pitfalls if you try to do it by yourself or you're looking at YouTube, because they're not going to give you everything. With this group, you're getting it all and some. Like they overvalue. I have so much learning that I still can do. I haven't even scratched the surface of the learning. Actually, after this, at 12 o'clock, we have an introduction meeting to the group. And if you guys are interested, in learning about more about the group and how you can get started and involved at 12 o'clock noon, right after this meeting here, you can get plugged in. Just hit the person who reached out to you, who gave you this link, and just tell them you want to, learn a little bit more, and we can get you plugged into that next link at noon.
Yeah, yeah, and I appreciate it. And I say, Jennifer, you on, and you know what? We'd like to also hear from you because Dameon was, he was doing his thing, but I know you was holding back, and you're like, let me, and but we'd like to hear from you because some people may say, yeah, those two guys are talking, and where's I don't really see a lot of women real estate investors, and it's kind of like stuff. So can you kind of like debunk that and kind of like share with us what your thoughts are?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my husband did a wonderful job at just kind of showcasing our property and talking about it. And there are a lot of women who are into real estate investing. I mean, we may not necessarily be into the whole demoing, but I know there's a lot of us who, love to put that hat on of interior designing, being able to update the different layouts, floor plans, architecture. I love that kind of stuff. I'm always doing it, to our personal home, changing something in our personal home. I'm sure I drive my husband crazy with my many projects,
No, no.
but to be able to get to do this, for our business is amazing. So I absolutely love it. And we love to help others as well. And so I'm sorry if you hear the noise in the background, but the one of the things I just kind of want to hone in on what he said was helping people, right? When you know of a good restaurant, when you know of a good movie, when you know of a good vacation spot or something, you're eager to tell your family, you're eager to tell your friends, you're eager for them to go and even experience it themselves. And so for this community, for one, and even for real estate investing as a whole, we know and understand the value. We know how it has allowed us to be just sort of more free in the things that we want to do, how we want to live our lives, building that generational wealth for ourselves. And we want that for our family. We want that for our friends as well. So anybody that we can, we're telling about, hey, have you thought about real estate investing? Have you thought about, doing this? And even the community, right? Becoming a part of the community, not doing this on your own, because there are a lot of questions you're going to have, and it's great to be able to have that undergirding of the community, of people and leaders in the community that have done this for decades upon decades, right? To be able to leverage them, leverage their ideas, leverage their knowledge and their wisdom, so that we don't make those costly mistakes, and that we can pivot when we need to. So I appreciate that. It's been great. We've definitely built a lot of great friendships, even with being a part of the community. But we've built a life for ourselves that we can, continue to enjoy and pass down to our children as well. So it's definitely appreciated.
Well, awesome. I truly thank y'all for both for being here and to be able to share. And like Damien was also saying, just get back with the person, and Jennifer, just get back with the person who invited you to here, and just say, you know what, I want to attend the next meeting, even if it's not today or whatever the case may be. Just reach out to them because there's some questions that you have. Because I think today we may not have one at noon, but still reach out to the person to say, you know what, um, what's next, right? Just that's it. Just hey, what's next, and be able to connect with them because there's a lot of things that we learn, and we don't want to skip over some things to help you get to your goal that you're trying to get to. And so again, Jennifer, Damien, thank you. Hey, Scott Buckles, you know what, man? Thank you for allowing us to be able to come together, to be able to share information and to help others moving forward. I know Jennifer and Damien like to help, and we do too. And so we're kind of paying it forward, as some people would say, is because how did we get started? We saw somebody do something and they just point us in the right direction. This is how you learn. This is how you want to implement. And then you connect with people and you learn how to do that. And then you provide value. And just in the property that y'all was sharing today, and you took that step then will pay y'all both nicely kind of going forward to be able to help more, if that makes sense. And so I know a lot of people just looking at like, wow, equity, over 200,000 and for that property is paid for, it's going to be over $1 million. Yes, but it didn't start overnight, but it did happen over multiple nights. And then when it clicks, then it is a night when you wake up the next morning. And so again, Jennifer, Dameon, um, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. I'm gonna give y'all just if there was probably something that y'all was thinking about as we was going through this meeting that you want to share with somebody who's here today for the first time, or they've been here and they want to take their game to the next level. I'm just gonna give you, if you don't mind, just a minute. So what would you want to say with them? And I know you already shared a lot, but what do you want to share with them that like I want to say kind of like get off the fence? And who would want to start first?
I'll let Jennifer start if she wants to, if she can.
Yeah, I faith over fear. Um, Faith over fear is one of the, I guess, mantras we, echo, of course, in our faith, but it's also a mantra that we can echo just in our investing and going after the business that we want, going after the life that we want, right? Everything you are looking for is on the other side of fear. So understandable that it's a scary to take the jump, understanding that it's, unfamiliar territory. But there's a whole community of people here who you can leverage in order to be able to take that jump. So take the lead.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, I'll just echo what my wife has just said. Again, you're here for reasons, and you want you're interested. It piques your interest at some point. That's the reason why you're here. And this is no better place. There is no better place, and there is no better support that you will have along your journey. Um, just take the step. Just take the next step. At least, at the very least, get as much free information as you can to make an educated decision. That's what my wife and I did. We talked to people. We did all of the research that we can do, and we landed on the best case scenario. And it was just joining this group. It's been a true blessing. I thank God that Keith and I we connected, and it's been a much answered prayer that we could have. We didn't even know we needed. We knew we wanted to do real estate. We didn't know anything about joining no group, no community, none of that stuff. We just was going to try to go out there and do it on our own. But thank God he led us to this awesome community, and it's been a blessing ever since.
Well, guys, I sure do want to say thank y'all for both coming out and just sharing with us, and it's been really awesome. So we're gonna let everybody go. Again, we're gonna have another one next Saturday. Um, Another person who's doing real estate investing in today's time, taking actions, learning, implementing, and growing what they want to grow within their portfolio. So again, Scott Buckles, thank you, everybody. Y'all have an awesome Saturday and see y'all next weekend.
All right, bye. Have a blessed one.
Bye bye.